What strange secret did the parrot have that made it respond so strangely to his owner's last words? This woman chose to adopt a parrot to help her deal with her loneliness. She spent many years with him, and when it was time for her to say goodbye, the bird did something that left many people speechless. Sometimes we are surrounded by people and still feel abandoned. Some people don't want human company and would rather have the unwavering love of a pet. Cats and dogs are the most common choices, but some people would rather own fish, small reptiles, or birds. Our story's main character is a woman who found comfort in a bird, a parrot that lived a little longer than the average house pet. She lived alone in a small apartment in Lyon, France. She was getting older and didn't have a husband or any friends, so she knew that a pet would keep her company in her lonely home. The rules of her condo said she couldn't get a dog or a cat, so she decided to adopt a parrot. When she told her owner she was thinking about getting a bird, he agreed that a parrot would be better than a cat or dog. Some birds make noises that aren't as loud as barking when they're not in their cages. The woman agreed that this was the best choice and started to learn more about parrots. She couldn't just go to any store because parrots aren't usually kept in pet stores. After doing a lot of research and joining groups to talk about the benefits of owning a parrot, she finally found the perfect companion. He was a unique African gray parrot with ash-colored feathers that didn't need a lot of space. He was the perfect match for her, but she wasn't sure if she wanted to become his owner because she thought that such a special bird might need too much care or be too expensive. She went back to see the parrot several times and eventually got over her doubts. The parrot liked her too, so she named him Sinbad and brought him home. From the first day, Sinbad would be happy whenever she walked into his room. He would swing, dance, and talk to her. Soon, the woman realized that they were meant to be together. She knew that the day she brought Sinbad home would be the start of a new chapter in her life. She now had to take care of Sinbad, who was a joy to be around. He would sing to her in the morning and repeat funny phrases he heard on the street. Despite all the noise he made, she almost felt like she had another person living in the house. They would sit on the balcony and watch the sunset or drink coffee. She made new friends through the parrot owners community and realized that this pretty bird was exactly what she had been looking for. Getting a pet was a big step for her. A cat or dog would have been harder, but a parrot requires a different kind of commitment. Parrots are very smart animals and can live up to 50 years. The old woman and her parrot quickly became best friends and lived together for 25 years. At first, the woman was amazed at how well Sinbad was doing. She had thought that she might have to rehome him because she was getting old, but in the end, she decided that she and Sinbad would live together until the end. Her apartment looked older and brighter with Sinbad in it, and she felt less lonely than ever when her children came over. They also enjoyed his company. Sinbad was a friendly bird that loved all the attention he got from the woman. He would often show off the tricks he had learned from her to get praise and scratches on the head. Sinbad could sing, whistle, and even know his own name. Some people say that parrots can only repeat what their owners say, but the woman felt that Sinbad was different. Besides all the cool tricks he could do, she felt like he was talking to her. They would always say good morning and good night to each other. She would talk to him about her problems, and he seemed to understand even if his answers didn't always make sense. As their relationship grew, so did their emotional connection. Parrots are some of the smartest animals when it comes to emotions, and she was sure that Sinbad knew what she was saying. He was more than just a pet, he was a best friend. Slowly as time went on, the woman got older and her health started to decline. She tried to live at home as long as she could, but her body was failing her quickly. One moment she felt healthy and strong, and the next she had to sit down and rest her tired joints. She knew she didn't have much longer, but she didn't want to believe it. After all, she still had to take care of Sinbad. She decided that she would just go see the doctor for a quick checkup. One visit turned into 2 and 3 and 4 and before she knew it, she was also seeing specialists and visiting the hospital often. Sinbad was left alone for longer and longer hours. The lady always tried to book appointments in the middle of the day so that she could still say good morning and good night to her friend without much interruption to her schedule. The parrot, as we mentioned, was very intelligent. He knew that something was wrong, and he started to tell her that he loved her much more often. For a while, his thoughtfulness brought her a Little light and energy, but it didn't last for long. Eventually, she was admitted into the hospital where she learned that she didn't have much time left. The doctors made sure to tell her family to say their last goodbyes. During those last days, the woman's daughter took Sinbad with her to the hospital. The parrots seemed to understand the gravity of the situation and stayed close to their owner the whole time. Normally very chatty, Sinbad was unusually quiet that day. No one had told him he was going to the hospital or that his owner was sick, but it was clear he knew. He hopped around on the bed next to his owner, checking to see if she was okay. The woman's daughter asked her mother to say some last words to Sinbad to let him know that she would miss him. It took a lot of strength for the dying woman to tell her beloved parrot, "Ross, I love you." As soon as she said these words, the parrot reacted most heartbreakingly. Sinbad seemed to come back to life. Just hearing his owner's voice gave the bird hope, but it didn't last long. It was the woman's last goodbye to her beloved Sinbad. Many of you may be surprised by how emotionally connected birds can be with their owners. Science has shown that parrots can feel depressed after a traumatic event like losing a loved one. There are even antidepressants for birds like Sinbad. Although Sinbad and his new owner haven't had as much time to bond as he did with his first owner, things seem to be going well. The woman's daughter has promised to take care of Sinbad until the end of his days, and the two of them will remember her mother and the special bond they all had.